guys, so I have this massive screen share set up here, which is sort of how I try to explain things. And I have a different approach to really, I think, everything than most people, right? I don't want to be a YouTube influencer, so I'm not going to do things exactly the right way. I just want to I use the tools to try to communicate, okay? And and I want us all to build something together. And the trick is to figure out how to do that, to figure out how different people can have roles in it and how we can all profit. Okay? And that's not like a traditional way, right? I don't want to be Bill Gates. I don't want to be Steve Jobs. Nothing like that. No, not one bit. And and if you do, then you might want to swipe left because the way I do things is different. Okay, now um, there's my Venmo. Okay, if you want to help me out, you can send me some money, right? And because what I'm doing is developing software, open source software for everybody, and so if you believe this helps you, then that would be great. Okay, now let's unpack all this stuff that we see here. So first of all, you'll notice that we're looking at Bluesky, right? Bluesky is the new app that everybody's excited about. So what I'm saying is in Bluesky, we can overlay a second sort of conversation on top of it. We can use, and we could have done this with Facebook or LinkedIn or Google or really anything, or um, or even had our own website. But you see, that's a single point of failure, and and this is more of a portal, right? And you'll notice, and I made one of these a minute ago, and I probably didn't point this out. I made a different video. You'll notice right here it says spin to win, right? It says that. Okay, that doesn't normally say that at the top of Bluesky. This is a little button. It doesn't do anything yet. But normally this space is just says back, right, to move back. And so I used all of this code that runs on my computer and would run on your computer to create this. See, and this is what I call a Web3 kind of solution, which I often say there's no Web3 website that we traditionally understand. You can just kind of overlay things yourself on top of other things, right? And part of that is because you have control of your identity using tools like MetaMask. Now, if I were to click here, it would take too long to show you kind of what MetaMask is like, but it's a browser extension that pops up, and you see here's kind of what it looks like, right? Um, and it's got crypto money in it, but you can also sign and create transactions, and you'll see it notices that you have Bluesky opened up here. That's the way browser extensions work. They these things up here extend the site, and so that's where all this code that I'm messing with, much of it would be there, and the rest of it would be out in these very trustable um, places, and they're trustable because you can't change. I'm not talking about some policy that says things can't be changed. Like things literally can't be altered in this blockchain world, right? That's what makes it special. So there's a couple different things. There's a couple different big ideas. One is that your identity is something you control yourself using tools like this that can, and we can bring that into our world. And you can do things like use the Bluesky. It's almost like the Borg, right? Infecting something. You can, and I would hope that the Bluesky folks would be on board with this. It seems like they might. So, and that's what this right here. This is simply um, something that I dummied up. See, and I have the code down here to do it, right? If I change these little numbers here, I like to do stuff in real time. Nobody else ever does that. They always, um, they never do that. They like to tell you stories about what's possible in the future, and I show you what I'm doing right now, and it can be disorienting. So thank you for continuing to listen to me. But you see, did you see it? It kind of moved, right? Kind of moved, and so that could be like a little banner that moves along, and what shows up in here, you could totally customize. And we can use shared resources to be able to communicate in ways that we know are you ready for this? Byzantine fault tolerant, right? You have this, they cannot be interrupted. And that's one of the message, the message must be able to go through. That's Byzantine fault tolerance. Why do you know? Because it is backed by this new blockchain technology where um, you know you know exactly what's in each block, right? And that doesn't mean that everything has to be written into blockchain, but that's what everything is kind of um, attached to or moored to, right? So you can and it gives us a level of trust that lets us not have to rely on central parties, right? Just like with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, you don't have to rely on a bank to do business with each other, right? We don't have to rely on anybody to be able to communicate, play games together, work together. And we don't even have to rely on Bluesky. However, it seems like it's a pretty good starting point, right? So that's what this, so I love recursion, right? Because I'm a nerd, right? So I'm in Bluesky and I'm talking about what I'm doing, right? I'm showing you the console here, right? That I'm working on over here to write stuff into the ledger, or not, sorry, onto your screen, right? No one at Bluesky, the Bluesky company or whatever it is, I don't think it's designed to be pretty distributed itself, but anything with a URL is going to be potentially can be simply taken out, right? The government could say, we don't like Bluesky, we want to make it go away, right? Well, you still have the ability to communicate with each other. Anything that's stored in your browser extension, which seems like is something we can do, by the way, right? One of the problems we have is how do you store things on your computer, and it seems like maybe that's a solution to that. Um, and I've looked at other things and thought about other things. So that's it. That's this post. And the other thing I kind of show, and this is the screen is you're gonna see it get really bright here. Yeah, see, it's like I turned a light on. That's just literally a screen. This is often something I show. This is a prototype that I've built where all of this data, all this stuff you see, all these different tests and declarations, links, whatever, they are etched into a inexpensive cryptocurrency. It takes less than a penny. You can do like about 100 of these for a penny, and you know that's that's almost nothing, right? And you can tell, right? You can tell who interacts with these. Um, these are the IDs, and you can even verify things externally. Like if you click here, let's do that and see what that does. See, that will take us to an external source that's showing us the same data, though not in a format that's is nice, right? So you don't. So this is always a case where you don't. I'm never asking you to trust me. And often I say there is no me in this. I'm just a guy that puts stuff out there, right? And that's why um, having a different funding model is interesting, because I'm not the middleman. I'm not going to be taking a cut. All I can get paid to do is do the work kind of one time, and train people and give people a level of support, right? That's all anybody can do in this new world. There's no place for a middleman. There's no thing for them to control and take away if you stop payment, right? And that's a big idea that you guys may or may not be comfortable with, but I guess I would ask, how comfortable are you with the state of our digital world right now? And would you be willing to entertain the idea of doing things in a different way, even if you don't make a buck all the time, right? Anyway, that's like I say, this is one of those transactions, and you see that's the kind of the data of it. And you can see the data in a different way. See, it was just a link. It looks like it was a link to uh, some website, right? all of this stuff, all of this stuff that I was showing you here can be, uh, Bluesky can kind of be a front end to it. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And that's this new distributed world. I hope this all made some sort of sense. Feel free to reach out to me. This is what I'm doing, and your projects would work best, in my opinion, if this was the starting point and we kind of begin to attach your things into this, and we can all build everything together. I'm not a secret squirrel. All right, thank you. And it always takes me a bit to exit this thing. And let's see, here we go.